I believe God do choose our person, and we do have a choice in that as well. It's like a GPS, bro. I believe God sets the destination, but we still got to drive, right?
Wow.
So we still have to, like, God can say, okay, this person is for you, right? But it's still, he give us free will.
Right.
So he give us a person that they may not fit our ideal list. They might not be the tallest. They may not be the prettiest. They may not be the thing. They may not be this and that, but they got a heart for him.
Yeah.
They got a heart for people. They got this and that. But we ignore his directions, and we just go our own way. We just go our own way, and then we end up lost. And we be like, how'd I end up with this baby mama? Welcome to Man Unmuted.
Hey, let's go, bro.
What's up? What's up, Man Unmuted fam? What's good?
What's good, man? Hope y'all had a great week. We did. We're excited to be here to tackle this week's conversation.
Yeah, man. Let's get to it. Just me and you, broski, man. Let's get to it, man. First, before we get started, y'all hit that like and subscribe button right now. Hit that like and subscribe button, man.
Definitely. So I'm excited about today's talk. I mean, we been talking about it throughout the week. So I'm ready to just really dive right into this thing, bro.
Let's do it. God and dating and purpose, bro. How to love without losing yourself, man. So let's talk about why is this important, bro, for men, man. I think it's important for men because as we date, sometimes we lose our identity. We lose our identity of who we are when we fall in love. Man.
Yeah. I think too, man, a lot of men just, we try to be what we feel the woman wants us to be, and we lose ourselves in that area. And then two, a lot of men, unfortunately, man, that used to be me at one point, not knowing who you are. So you don't even have your own personal identity. So you going into it not knowing who you are, and then the woman is like making you be what she wants you to be instead of you actually being who you're supposed to be, who God called you to be.
And I think sometimes we got to go in knowing we putting God before our relationship or before the girl who we with. And I remember we had Dom on here a couple episodes back, and finding her, he said, during my single stage, I wasn't looking to the left or to the right. I was looking straight ahead, and God came and put her right there in the middle. Yeah. And that's sometimes what is required. But we just got to focus on God, and then we will meet, and our partner will come. And sometimes we don't do that.
Yeah.
And that throws us off, man.
Yeah, I think, that's one of the biggest things I've learned over the last couple of years from a couple of my friends who are married now. A lot of my friends are married, is to just go straight forward with God, and it'll be right there in front of you. Like, if seek ye first the kingdom of God, all things will be given unto you. So that's just, for me, the main thing, man, is to just get closer to God and just allow him to, bring my spouse across the path.
I think, bro, you can't find peace and love if you don't find peace in God. And I think that's first, man. I think sometimes when we start dating, we start liking somebody, and we start really feeling them, man, we fall deep in love. Sometimes we start to make that person our purpose. And that becomes a big problem, man. Yeah. And that's why I think we need to learn, and these talks need to happen, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quote that I've heard somebody say. It was, you have to walk with God like Adam did to find your Eve. And so, like what you was just saying, like, you got to be, like, I pray for my wife now. As a single man, I pray for her now. Like, God, wherever she may be in the world, God, I just ask that you bless her, heal her, and I believe that situation will, prayer, I think that's what we should be trying to do, to pray for our spouse beforehand. While we're in our single stage, pray for our spouse now. And I think that the thing, too, though, is, like, you have to realize that we're all in this whole thing of trying to figure this thing called life out. And like you was telling me on the way here, life is not meant to be done alone, regardless of how scary it is or whether you know what you're doing or not knowing. God didn't put us on this earth to be alone. And so it's a scary thing for me, but I'm getting better with it. But I made a mistake in the past of making the woman my purpose. Like, I felt that I went into it trying to conquer the woman. Like, okay, I know this is going to be a tough task, and okay, let me break her down, this and that. And that ain't the way that I was supposed to be going into it. I was supposed to go into it with grace, but I went into it like playing like a little boy. And as I get older and mature, I just realized you have to be intentional. And the intentionality about it is very, very important. And that goes along with the purpose, being intentional.
And like you just said, that's interesting. Let's jump into that. You said you're praying for your spouse or your wife right now, even in your single state. How do you balance praying for a relationship versus preparing for one?
Damn, that's good, Will. Well, praying for it is me just asking God to direct me instead of me doing it the way I want to do it, because clearly my way ain't working. So that is what I think. Prayer is direction. God is showing me and turning me in the direction I'm supposed to be in to get to my purpose, to be where I'm supposed to be for the person he has for me. And I think that preparing myself is the work that I do on myself. I feel like the work that I do myself to better myself as a man, as a leader, as a father, as a friend, just in general. I just think that's the work on myself, is the preparation for me, and the prayer is what I'm at, what direction I want God to take me in to get there.
I think a lot of times us as men and even women, man, whether we single or even before a relationship, we do a lot of praying. We do a lot of praying. God, I just need to find my right person. God, I just pray that you bring this man and this woman in my life. God, I just pray that my next relationship is different. And we don't really prepare. And sometimes God give us that right person and that next relationship, and we ain't even prepared for that person.
Yes.
We done asked for this wife. We done asked God, give me a woman that's understanding. Give me a woman that's patient. Give me a woman that understands my vulnerability, God. Give me a woman that's financially stable, God. Give me a woman that want to do this, want to do that. And when God finally puts in our life, we not even prepared for it, bro. We still don't understand emotional intelligence, bro. We still don't understand how to open up, man. We still want to step out and mingle and talk to other women too. And it's like, but God, we asked for it. We asked for this person and we're not prepared. So I think we got to understand how to balance, not just praying for that person, but becoming the person who we want, man. We got to become that person, bro. And I think we don't do that a lot. And that's very important, because it's like an athlete who just go pray, God, I want to win a championship. I want to win a Super Bowl, God. I want to do this and that. But you don't train. During the off season, you ain't putting in no work. You ain't putting in no work. You eating, you on the video games, you going out, you partying. But God, I want to win a championship next year. God, I can't wait till football season come back, God. But yo, you gotta put in the work, and I think that's what the difference is between just praying and preparing, man. I think that's big, bro.
Definitely, and too, like we pray for a wife, but we have to. Are you ready for her prayers? You know what I'm saying? Like what you said too. Like you got to be prepared for what she's bringing with what she's been praying for, and so a lot of times that's a scary thing too.
It is, man. So let me ask you this: do you believe God chooses our partner for us? Like, or do we have a part in choosing that? Do you believe that's on God? Like people say, like God chooses our partner.
I think God do have someone for us all. And I think that's why I said with the prayer of direction, I think that we'll find that person in our path when we're supposed to, if we are, doing the right things. I don't feel that, if I'm going to, for example, if I'm going to be like strip clubbing every day, I ain't going to find my wife. You know what I'm saying? And I probably would have found her in the gym at that time. I should have been there, but I'm somewhere where I shouldn't be. So I think a lot of times the choices we make, we get derailed from actually finding the person that God has for us, because we're not seeking him and seeking what we're supposed to be doing, and we just get off track, and the person just walked right by us or was where we were supposed to be and we didn't go, and you miss out.
Agree. I understand that, bro. And I believe it's both, right? I believe God do choose our person, and we do have a choice in that as well. It's like a GPS, bro. I believe God sets the destination, but we still got to drive, right? Wow. So we still have to, like, God can say, okay, this person is for you, right? But it's still, he give us free will.
Right.
So he give us a person that they may not fit our ideal list. They might not be the tallest. They may not be the prettiest. They may not be the thing. They may not be this and that, but they got a heart for him. Yeah. They got a heart for people. They got this and that. But we ignore his directions, and we just go our own way. And then we end up lost. And we be like, how did I end up with this baby mama? How did I end up with this baby daddy? How did I end up with this divorce? How did I end up in this situation when God set a destination for us, and we knew it, and the person in front of us, and we chose to go our own route? Because remember, God give us free will. Definitely. That's one thing he always give us is a choice, man. Yeah. So he do align us with people. He do have things set up, but we got that choice, bro. Yeah. We got that choice. And that's why you see a lot of times you may hear people say, I had a good one. I knew I had the right one, but I chose this person. Yeah. We have that choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, like with the GPS, it's been saying rerouting, and you just still it's telling you to make a U-turn, and you just gonna keep going, and then at some point if you look at the GPS and you keep it ain't gonna keep saying rerouting for long.
Not for long.
After a while, it's just like, okay, you know where you're going.
Bro, you done seen the red flags, man. You done seen it. Y'all done had the arguments, man. Y'all haven't been there. Y'all been fighting. This person is toxic for you, but they make you feel good in other ways.
Yeah.
Or you want them because they your ideal person. Or you look good with them on social media. Or because they got a certain amount of money, a certain status. But it's like, you knew what it was, man.
Yeah. And two, like, let me ask you this still, like, because I feel like I've become victim of this in the past too, of like falling in love with the idea of a woman. Like, I don't know if you've ever, in your past, obviously, you have ever experienced that. I know a lot of men have, but for me, like, the idea of a woman, like, I've been in relationships, like friendly relationships with women and, well, platonic relationships, some. And I'm like, man, she cool, dog. Like, she just such a vibe to be around. And I could talk to her. We could joke. We could laugh. We could get serious and this and that. And then I'm like, man, I like, and then I start feeling like, man, I could probably be in a relationship with her. But it's what I put in my mind of what I'm the top surface of what I'm seeing. I don't really know her like that, but it's just the top layer is making me feel like, man, she might be this and that. And I end up falling for the idea of what this woman could be rather than actually going in, diving head first to actually see who she really is. Yeah. And I fall a victim to that a couple times in my past.
I think we all have at some point, man. Especially when I was younger, man. I think we all kind of look at the surface level of things. Sometimes I know I done been there and I done dated only because of looks. And I be like, man, this person looked this way. This person make me feel this way sexual. This person this. So I think we all done been there where we just look at the surface level. But I think that's where growth come in, man. As you get closer to God, bro.
Yeah.
I think as you get closer to God, you understand that those things are not as important, man. You start to look deeper and start to understand where you want your foundation to be at, man.
Definitely.
So I definitely agree and understand that, bro. So let me ask you a question, man. Have you ever felt God telling you to walk away from someone you cared about?
Yes, 1,000%. Not just God. God had my mama tell me. God had you tell me. God had my aunties, my family tell me. And guess what? I still did what I wanted to do and ended up heartbroken and jacked up because I didn't listen. So, yeah, man. I'm a victim of my last relationship. That's exactly what I did. I had a way out of it, and I went right back into it. And man, I crashed out.
And I think I done felt that way too, man. It's crazy, bro. I think we all done felt that we want someone so bad, and we done stayed in relationships that we know is not good for us, man. And God is just telling us to leave that person alone, bro. And we just know it, bro. We just know this is not a good thing. Sometimes our family done seen it. Our mom, he done told us, yo, this is not healthy. I done seen you crashing out so many times. Like, you almost went to jail. Like, you done cursed and you done did all this, and this person is not good for you. And I think, bro, it's almost like we holding a beautiful bird in our hand, bro. And it's like, the bird is beautiful, but if you squeeze it too tight, you can harm it, man. So sometimes God tells us to just open our hands. And not because the bird isn't beautiful, but because sometimes freedom is real love, bro. Wow. Like, to set a person free, bro, and to just really see what happens with y'all, man. To really see the growth. And if sometimes things come back and y'all make your way back to each other, man, and it's brand new and it's a new start and fresh air, bro. And that's why I think sometimes we just got to do is just open our hands, and sometimes you got to let go, man. Sometimes we try to hold on to things in which God himself is trying to tear apart. And I think that's big, man, as far as dating, bro.
Yeah. And I think that's a toxic part of ourselves. Is like, when you don't do the work on yourself and know yourself, I think that's when you fall into letting that person be your purpose, making this person your everything. Just like that Jerry Maguire movie, like, you complete me. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way it's supposed to be. And you know, oh man, this is a crazy situation. So I was dating this young lady some years ago, and she was some years younger than me. I went into it very immaturely, trying to just conquer something. And I knew it wasn't a good situation. I knew it wasn't. It was very toxic. And this was before my therapy journey as well. So I really didn't know who I was as a person. I was still figuring it out. I'm thinking just women smash and different, whatever. And there was this song by Lauryn Hill back in the day that was called "When It Hurts So Bad, Why Does It Feel So Good?" And when you're in that place, when you're trying to figure yourself out and you don't know yourself and you think you found somebody that's compatible with you. Sometimes you be trauma bonding.
Damn.
You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's, and the young lady that I was dating at the time, now she's, you know, she's married. She has a wife now. Crazy. But, you know, she was suffering with identity issues. You know what I'm saying? And I was suffering with trying to find out who I was as a person, you know, not sexual preference, but just as a man and what's my purpose and where I'm going to go. So I think it was a trauma bond of us, you know, trying to help each other deal with our traumas. And I think I fell in love with that part of it.
Bro, that is interesting, man. Trauma bonding, bro. Like, it's a real thing out here, man.
Yeah.
It's a real thing to know that you have been hurt in a way you meet somebody else and you be like, damn, y'all understand my hurt?
Yeah.
Like, neither of us healed. Like, we both kind of fucked up in a way. And man, I love you. I found somebody who just as fucked up as me, and it's toxic. At the end of the day, you find out that's not good, bro.
Yeah.
You find out both of you really kind of need healing, man. And that's interesting, bro. So, like, let me ask you this. What do it mean to you to be spiritually rooted as a man? Like, what do that mean?
For me, I feel that spiritually rooted I can't be shaken. You know, and I feel like right now I'm in a good place with God that I am rooted. I can say that I'm not shaken. There could be a hurricane coming. There could be a tornado. I ain't moving. I'm standing with God. I know who God is. I know what God has done for me. I've been with God in the valley. I've been with God in the mountaintop, and nothing is going to derail me from understanding what God can do and what he has done for me and what he's about to do. And I think that's what being rooted is, just really understanding that whatever I'm going through, whatever hurt I feel, whatever financial situation, my relationship situation, I'm still going to believe in God and serve God and seek his word and just get better with him, regardless of my hurt, pain, or whatever. Just stay there and just know that he's going to meet you right where you are. That's what I believe being rooted as a man, just period, just being spiritually rooted. That's what I think.
That's so good, bro. That's so good. And that's fire, man. And I'll back that up by saying I definitely agree, bro. Being spiritually rooted as a man is just like you say, being rooted, bro. It's the foundation, man. Just understand God. Like, I know who my identity is, and God is my foundation. And no matter how fine this woman is that come into my life, if we ain't on the same accord with God, like, I'm not going nowhere. Yeah. No matter money, I'm not doing certain things for money. I'm not losing myself and my values for money because I'm standing on God. I'm standing on all 10 with God. The same thing goes with everything else around me. Like you say, bro, no matter what may come in my life, bro, I know God is my foundation.
Yeah.
Like, no matter as a man, no matter what may come, no matter what storms may come, no matter what people may say today, it's hard to get me out of this identity because I'm rooted in God. Like, my boots are strapped in and I'm on God, bro. Like you say, man, that's important, man. To understand as a man how and what it means to be spiritually rooted, man. I think a lot of men, we don't really understand that. I think that's the key before even dating that woman, before the girl, before meeting her, to understand who we are in that process. Like, to have that tough foundation in God, like, bro, that's how you lead a house, man. That's how you get ready to step in to meet and ready to lead a woman and ready to lead a house, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I know that one thing about you, I learned a lot from you, and communication is a big thing with you. And so let me ask you this. Do you feel that your relationship with God helps you with your communication and your relationship? No, I'm saying like your relationship with God, because I know, like you say, you go to your prayer closet, you pray a lot. And so clearly you know how to talk to God and ask God and be vulnerable with God. You say you cry with God and you allow yourself to be your natural self with God. Do you think that the fact that you have that relationship, that is helping you in your personal life with communication because you have that relationship with God?
I definitely think that as a man, having that relationship with God can help you with having a relationship with your partner and while you're dating, bro. Because a lot of times us as men, we keep things in. We like to be hardcore. We like not to be open and stuff, bro. So when I'm opening myself up to God, when I'm in prayer and I'm talking to God, I'm like, God, I need to get better as a man. Like, God, I pray that I could be better as a husband. I see my ways. I see this, God. I see how I want to get better. Like, I'm struggling in this area. I'm struggling in this. And now when my spouse, I'm dating my girlfriend, my wife tell me, hey, you're not doing this. I need you to be better in this. I'm going to open and receptive to it, bro. I could be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, honey. Like, okay, I could do this, bro. Or it makes me easier to come at her in a different way, in a humble way, and not just be like, dang, babe, you always doing this. I can be like, look, honey, this is what I feel you should do better. Like, honey, like, this is like what's not happening in our marriage that we should do better. This was happening in our relationship that could get us to the next level, man.
Yeah.
And I believe it's all how you communicate with people, how you say things with people that can make people understand what you mean. Like, bro, so it's all about your delivery. And I think, having that communication with God is very important to do that, and especially with me. I definitely
Yeah, and like I was saying, that last relationship that I was in, I talked to my therapist about it quite a bit. Young lady, you was like 3 freaking sessions, by the way, maybe 4. I ain't gonna lie to you, but one thing that my therapist told me about people that's not good with communication is, and she would like go silent on me, and she was like, for people that communication is a problem, silence is loud to them.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? So her not talking or not being able to express herself was a big thing. That was her way of showing how she felt by not saying anything. And so that's not a healthy situation to be in, obviously. And for me, I feel like, you know, obviously prayer, because I'm a prayer guy. I love Jesus. I pray a lot. And with therapy, I'm able to communicate and express myself so many different ways. I feel like my next relationship that I'm going to be in is going to be an amazing situation because my communication skills has gotten even, you know, out the roof at this point because I understand how important and valuable that is in relationships.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Like, you think by you going to therapy, understanding being in therapy, that helps your communication now. How do they help your communication, like when dating or in a relationship? How do you see therapy? If you meet a woman and y'all dating, y'all been dating for 5 or 6 months, and how do you see you being going through therapy help you in communication in that relationship?
Because I know who I am, and I'm not trying to be what she wants me to be. I'm not going into this like when we was kids, how we'd be like, okay, she like this, so I'm going to do this, or she want me to listen to this music, so I'm gonna listen. No, I'm going into it knowing who I am, and I'm going into it the way I feel comfortable. I don't care if I want to go listen to Nora Jones on the first date. I don't care. I'm open enough to feel how I feel and be myself, and you know, yeah, express it, being expressive. And I feel like a lot of men, we don't allow ourselves to have that time with ourselves before we start dating or whatever to get to that point to where you are dating, you could communicate and just feel like, all right, cool. Like you could be vulnerable at times. Obviously, you don't want to be overly emotional and overly vulnerable either. That's a little creepy. Yeah. But you still have to find that balance within yourself to be able to know who you are, bro, and be comfortable with it. And it's all right. Like I know sometimes I can be emotional, and sometimes I could be tough, and sometimes I could be goofy. And I'm all right with it. And that's why, you know, you got to find that person that loves all that and love the growth part of you. Because I always let women know when I first dates and stuff like that about my therapy journey and the things that I have overcame and things that I'm trying to get better with. And it's not like I'm trying to, you know, let them know that they're getting the best version of me, which you are. But it's just letting them know where I come from, where I'm at, and where I'm going. So I think, you know, vision too, that's another thing we talk about as well with dating. I have vision now for my next relationship. I know where I want to go with it.
I think, bro, us as men or even people who dating, right? Have you ever had to change yourself or who you are to fit who you were dating? Like, I think sometimes we do that, bro. It depends how bad we want that person. Like we may be dating them and we may ask them certain questions and they'd be like, oh yeah, I like a man who's overly nice, or I like a man who does this and that. We know we don't do that kind of stuff. And we may be like, okay, I'll start doing this just because I like this person. Have you ever found yourself doing that?
Of course. Yeah, I think every man is guilty of that.
But I think that could be good and bad, bro, because we can want to change ourselves for the good of a person. And the good things, we can also want to change ourselves and fit in the things that's our bad.
That's the thing. You're right. Because if it depends on what it is, like you said, like if she's like, yeah, man, you know, I like crack, I like, I'm just saying. And you're like, yeah, okay, let me try. Now, come on, you dig what I'm saying? But it was a young lady back in the day that I was dating, and she was like, you need to come with me to church. Before we go on a date, I need you to meet me at church, and then we'll go after church. I'm still at that church today, and that was 10, 12 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's like certain things about it is good for you. And it's like another relationship that I was in, I wasn't into like 3-ways and stuff like that as much, like I've experienced it, but it wasn't like a lifestyle for me. And this young lady like brought that lifestyle to me to where me and her would like have girlfriends and like, that was like a part of the thing. Like we would just always have a woman in the bed with us. That wasn't the healthiest thing for me. But at the time I was like, yes, I'm the man. You feel me? Like, yeah, I got stories to tell them, immaturity, but that wasn't something that I should have been doing, obviously, as a man of God. And I noticed myself making that a part of my lifestyle. And it wasn't a healthy thing. But at the time, I enjoyed every moment of it. But now I can look back and say, that wasn't it. So, yeah, I've definitely changed who I was to try to fit into the relationship and make it work. And that ain't it.
I remember a while back when I was in a relationship, I didn't intentionally change who I was, but I noticed I was changing who I was in an unhealthy way by my personality. Because I'm more of a chill person. I like the vibe, but we was always crashing heads, bro. And I'll tell anybody who's in a relationship, bumping heads is fine. You're going to be together, you're always going to bump heads. It's when you start crashing heads when it become a problem. And I noticed that when I was with this person back in the day, we'd crash heads. And that was unhealthy for me because it would change my personality and my persona. And that's what I say I grew from. I started to learn not to be with someone who would change that for the bad in me. And I would ask you that, like, how do you know what's the difference when... Well, how do you know when love is helping you grow versus slowly draining your peace?
Love is helping you grow
versus slowly draining your peace.
Versus slowly draining your peace. Man, I feel like first, love is a good thing. Love is God. God is love. And I don't think anything that is real, genuine love will drain you or intentionally put you in situations like that. I don't believe. Real, genuine love, I don't think so. So if it's draining you and it's like, you can't keep pouring into somebody and that's not pouring into you, because eventually your cup is going to be empty.
Facts.
And you have nothing else to give.
Facts. And
then you crash out and you spaz out and it don't work because you done gave all you can. And it's like, you don't got nothing else to give.
And I definitely agree with that, bro. If you're the only one in a relationship that's giving the sunlight and this person is always the shade and they can never give you no sunlight, bro. Like you say, you the only one helping them grow, bro.
Yeah.
You're the only one bringing light into them, and they just making you dark and they just dimming your light, bro.
Yeah.
And I say, yeah, that's definitely how you know, man. You just it gotta be a balance.
Yeah.
I always tell people that when you're dating or when you finally with someone, you're in a relationship, you're married, it's that balance, bro. That person gotta balance you out. Like they ain't gonna always be your sunshine, but they can't always be your shade. Like they gotta be a balance. Like it's gonna be times where I gotta be their sunshine, I gotta water them, and it's gonna be times where they gotta water me.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important, bro.
I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
Have you ever made any emotional mistakes in the past that you wouldn't make again, possibly?
I would definitely say, yeah, man. I think emotional mistakes I made in the past was loving someone from an empty place, man. And to me, I say it was like giving someone your last candle, but then wondering why you're in the dark. And I think I learned from that, man. Before I light someone else up, I'll make sure I'm lit, bro.
Wow.
And I'll make sure, like, I worked on myself. I took that time, whether to heal, whether to get better as a man, whether to get better financially, whether to understand who I am, whether to be rooted in God before I love again, or before I give someone my candle, bro. Like, I got to make sure if I give you my candle, I got a bunch of candles left within me, bro. And I think that was a mistake I made before, man. I think that's sometimes something we all do sometimes, bro. We give people our last when loving, bro. And now we got nothing else to give.
Yeah.
Like, we that's it. Like, that's it. And that's because we sometimes came into it not fully knowing who we were, not fully rooted. Like, say, we're not really rooted in nothing. Sometimes we go into dating and we don't have nothing. We rooted into nothing, bro. We give that person our all, and that person takes it from us. And now we just like, where am I? And like, this person may hurt us, and we just completely gone, bro.
Yeah. Damn.
What about you, man? You ever felt like you in that predicament where you made that mistake emotionally with someone and you just...
Yeah, I mean, in the past, emotionally, I wasn't good with communication at one point. I really wasn't. And, you know, like I said on the pod before, it was a young lady that I didn't communicate with at the time like I should have. And it took me a long time, 10 years, to get to this point of apologizing and getting over that and creating a peace for it. Yeah. But I created long-term hurt for somebody. And I was afraid of the short-term hurt, because if I would have let her know at that time, I just can't do it, we probably could have worked it out. We probably could have I could have started my therapy journey sooner. She could have probably helped, but I didn't allow myself to be that vulnerable and be honest to just say, I can't do it. And I just disappeared out of nowhere. And I feel like I created a long-term hurt for somebody that it hurt me for the longest term too. Cause I felt like, man, you know how long I felt like I wasn't for doing that. I felt so bad about that situation, and every bad relationship that I've had since then, I've always equated it back to like a karma. You know what I'm saying? I've been in, like, one of the relationships I was in maybe a couple years ago. It was so great at the time. It was great, you know, the honeymoon stages. And it was just so good that I was just like, this ain't gonna last. I would say it every day. I even said it to her, like, this too good to be true. This ain't gonna last. And she would be like, why are you saying that? Like I said, man, I felt that guilt within me that I don't deserve nothing good. And yeah, man, like I would never put myself in that position again. And I just got to communicate and be honest.
I think sometimes we as maybe too hard on ourselves too, man. Because like you say, sometimes we may not have been the best person back in our past, especially in our younger days when we were dating. But sometimes it's not karma. Sometimes we just grew. And we growth, and it is actually growth. So, I mean, we didn't intentionally knew who we were at that time. And when we was making the mistakes, we didn't understand who we were. So I think sometimes it's just growth, man. You just got to understand that. So I think that's growth. But I would say us as men, right? We all got a purpose and we all got a calling, bro. And sometimes when you find your person, sometimes I think that person can either bring that calling out of you more or they could kind of take that calling or destroy that calling away. So do you think a man's calling should come before his relationship or grow within it?
I think before, because, and you can look at, for example, look at Adam. Like Adam was like walking with God, talking to God for a million years. You know, I'm exaggerating, but he had his personal relationship with God. He knew his purpose. He knew what God wanted him to do. And like God, like the Bible says, like he saw everything was good. Everything was great. Animals, life, God, but man was alone. Adam ain't had no more work to do. Because if God had more work for Adam to do and more things for Adam to fulfill, he wouldn't have put Eve in that situation at that time for him. He already found his purpose, did what God asked him to do, met with God every morning, spent time with God, this and that. And then he put Eve into the equation after he found his purpose. So I think that we should be purpose driven as men first before we get into it. And then, you know, you and your spouse, you guys bring that vision together and to see where you guys are going to go. But I think as a man, I think we should go into a relationship with vision and clarity and knowing where we're going, where we're taking this relationship, and let God, you know, direct us.
I definitely think as man, we should know and have vision. But I also think when you got your calling and if you with the right person, they should grow with you within it, man. They should understand. Like you see a lot of these athletes, be like, yo, when you see LeBron James speak and say, my wife's the MVP. Like I owe it all to her because throughout this process, she had to understand this was my calling. She had to understand there's going to be a lot of nights where you're raising the kids. There's going to be a lot of nights when I'm not going to be home. There's going to be a lot of nights when I'm on the road. Yeah. There's a lot of singers who we'll see, people who got their gifts. There's a lot of pastors who preach who don't be home. They be traveling here and there and they got kids. And that spouse, that first lady, they got to understand that person's calling. So I also believe you got to have that spouse sometimes that understands your calling, bro. And it's a balance, man. I think it's like a tree and its fruit, man. The tree is important because it's the roots. And I think that is the calling. Like that comes first. But I think the fruit that comes after, that is the relationship. And that is just as important because that shows how healthy the tree is. Like when you see them good fruits, you're like, oh, this is a good tree, you know? But the root came first, which was the calling, man. I think that's how it is too. They go hand in hand. If you find that spouse, they will understand that, okay, this is my calling. This is the person who I'm with. This is their calling. And I'm going to be there for them. Like I'm going to support them. I'm going to love them. Like even if I got to kind of have this season where I don't get them as much, but I know their calling is helping other people. I know their calling is changing lives, and that's what we're here for on this earth, is to serve too, man. So I think when you find that person who understand that and they balance your calling, that's
a beautiful thing.
It's definitely a beautiful thing, bro.
But it creates a situation where, you know, we got to be selfless. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being selfish. And understand, like, but because if it flips too, because she has a calling, she has a purpose.
True.
And we have to be there to support hers as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, your wife might be on a book tour. She might have to be out here meeting people and at meetings and,
Facts.
you know, and you got to be able to stay home with the kids sometimes. You're going to have to be the one to do that sometimes. So as men, we got to understand that too. Like it goes hand in hand. You both champion each other, celebrate each other and support each other in everything that y'all doing individually. And that's what I said, man, like, you go into it with vision and purpose, knowing this is what God wants us to do, and we're gonna dive head first. And this gonna happen. But guess what we gonna do? Stand firm in the middle of it.
Facts. That's definitely real. So let me ask you something, bro. What do not losing yourself in a relationship mean to you? Like what do that mean as a man? When we say not losing yourself in a relationship.
Don't be blind. Because the whole cliche saying that love is blind, you know, that's not a good quote that should even know. Like love is blind. Love should be clarity. Love should be you should be able to really see yourself in that person and see God in that person and be you, bro. Like it's okay to just be yourself, bro. Like, sometimes I might feel like crying right now, and guess what? She should be able to accept that and give me a shoulder. I might feel like screaming at the top of my lungs, and she might say, "You know what? Go ahead, you're good." I just think that you should just be able to be who you are without being ashamed about it, and be able to just be yourself, bro, and don't conform yourself to the assumptions of what you think that person wants you to be. Like, just go into it with yourself, knowing who you are. And yeah, that's what I think, dog.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that, man. Not losing yourself, man. Like, understanding that it goes back to kind of what we were saying about being spiritually rooted as a man. Like, I can't lose myself in this relationship if I knew I came here rooted in certain foundations. I came here knowing that, okay, I know my personality. I know I'm soft-spoken. I know I'm graceful. I know I got heart. So if I see that you're the total opposite as I'm getting in this relationship and we're arguing over dumb stuff and you kind of yelling and now I'm starting like I can't lose myself within this relationship, man. I think that's very important because sometimes love is a powerful drug, bro. Like it is such a powerful drug and we don't understand sometimes the things that we do for the people we love and the people who we're in love with, man. And sometimes we don't intentionally lose ourselves. Like we generally don't intentionally lose ourselves. It just happens because of the drug called love, bro. Like we don't even notice we're not even talking to our family no more. We don't even notice we're not even hanging out with our boys or our friends no more. We don't even notice like we go out and this person kind of not even showing us the proper love that we receiving in them and other people see it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, we can't lose ourselves. To me, not losing yourself in a relationship is basically coming in this relationship with boundaries. I'm coming in this relationship knowing that this is what I'm bringing to the table, not even financially, but emotionally. This is what I'm bringing to the table. And I got to make sure this person is matching me emotionally, bro. I got to make sure this person is treating me with that respect. I got to make sure this person is understanding my vulnerabilities and respecting them and not using them against me. And that's what I say about, I would feel not losing yourself, man.
Yeah. That's.
So let me ask you a question, bro. I don't know. How would you know, right? What questions would you ask if you're going on a date with a girl? What questions would you ask to find out is she the right one? Like, how would you recognize it if you found the right one? How do you know that?
I think that because we're church going guys, so we you know, but me being the single guy in the room, there's been some women that I've seen at church that I find attractive, and I'm like, man, I got to get myself together for this one. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you feel within yourself, okay, either I'm ready to get with this woman or even talk to this woman, or you feel like I ain't there yet. And that be the one that you should go after because she's going to challenge you to get better at whatever it is or make sure you on top of your whatever you're supposed to be on. So I think that's a good thing, man. Like, the woman that you feel you might be a little intimidated by maybe in certain areas, yeah, go for it. Because it's going to better you in the end of the day, I think. So that's where I'm at right now in my life at this perfect time. So, yeah, I got a couple potentials right now. So, you know, but I'm bringing the best version of myself that I have ever been, I feel like right now today. And so whoever you are, wife, I don't know you right now, but you're getting the best version of me right now. And I believe that you're going to help polish me with God to make me the better, even better version of myself for the long run.
And I think, bro, this episode, God, dating, and purpose, right? I think to understand when you're dating, how to recognize you find the right person is you have to have a relationship with God to be rooted with God. Because when you're on them dates, you got to have that spirit of discernment. You got to be able to tell the people who's not being true to themselves, and people that's hiding stuff, the people that's honest, and people that's just want you for what you could do for them. And, you know, because sometimes we got big hearts, and us Christians, people with big hearts, people in general, sometimes we just do things for the people we love or who we like and who we care for, and sometimes they take advantage of us.
Yeah.
And I think when you have that discernment, bro, you could kind of discern things and be like, yeah, this ain't right. Oh, yeah, hold on. You know, something like you kind of could pick up on things. And I think having that mixture of God with dating, bro, and purpose, I think it kind of helps, gives you that, man.
I got a question. And this is the way that I've been going about it the last couple of months or a year, I would say. Like, when I go on dates, like I'm dating with a purpose now, obviously. And so the analogy that I like to give is like, every woman starts out with a 750 credit score. You start out with that. You can't start out with an 800. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like I start at that point, and then there's certain things that you say and do that's going to drop it and raise it. And it's just, that's how I feel right now. And I don't know if that's a good way for me to go about it. Cause it's like, if I'm on a date, like I was on a date with a young lady, maybe a month ago. And I was like, okay, I'm actually here with her. Like, okay, I've been, and she was just telling me about how, you know, she would never like want to not have sex before marriage. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, you said this? And it's like, all right, now you done dropped a couple points. Like, cause I didn't expect that from you. And it's like, I don't know if that's a good way to go about it. Like, should I like change my method of like how I'm choosing women based off?
So you basically saying like when you go to school, it's the first day in the semester. They're like, everybody got an A.
Yeah.
Only you can work yourself down to an F now. Everybody got 100%.
Right.
You start getting them tests, and there you go. Your first 60, your first 50. Now you at an F. So you saying that's how you basically.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing, because now basically when you go on a date, I think that's genuine and that's fair. When I go on a date, I don't know you, so I'm not saying like I only know so far the outer appearance. I only know maybe what I see. So I'm trying to get to learn you. I'm trying to get to know, do we match? So I don't need to. I'm not assuming anything. I'm giving you a fair shot, and I think that's totally fair. Like, all right, you got an 8, you're 750. Now as I get to know you, like you said, okay, check mark. You don't like God. Check mark. You don't like kids. Check mark. You still not healed. Check mark. You don't got a daddy in your life. Check mark. Your parents was dead. Check mark.
Yeah.
So I think that should drop. I mean, compared to the things you may see compatible, man. Like, I think that is a fair take on that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep doing it. Because I'm gonna definitely take your advice, bro.
For sure, bro, man. This episode was good, though.
Yeah, I feel like it was needed for me, even to pick your brain on some of these topics, man. You know, you being the married man in the room, but I love this, man, and I feel that, you know, a lot of men out there, we don't know what to do, where to go, or, you know, what direction to go in when it comes down to God, when it comes down to relationships. And I feel like today this is just the first layer of this type of talk. I feel like we're going to dive into this even more as the weeks progress. Yeah. And we're going to have people here that's going to help us get into the real deal of it. And yeah, man, this was great.
Yeah, what I would say to every guy out there that's watching, man, is your purpose is not found in her, it's confirmed by God. Mm-hmm. So let's always remember that, especially when dating and we're just getting to know ourselves and find ourselves. And when we do meet that right person, it still be spiritually rooted and it's still understanding who you are when you're dating. So let's close out how we always do. We're going to close out with a quick prayer, because we always want to be better men, better fathers, better husbands, and better dads. So let's get ready to do it. God, we just come before you right now. Thank you for every man that's watching out there today, God. For every man that's still searching to find themselves, God. Even while they're dating right now, God. Help them remember to put you first right now, God. Help them remember that you are the foundation right now that's first right now, God. And we could do nothing without you right now, Lord Jesus. You said in your word right now, God, as a man, we shall be the priest and the shepherd of our homes right now, God. So before any man go out there and look for that wife and they pray for that good thing, help them to be that good man right now, God. Help them to understand who they are right now, God. To every man they need healing right now, God. Help them to understand that you are the healer right now, God. And they should seek you first right now. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all else shall be added unto us right now, God. Help every man to not seek anything else as first right now, God, but just look to you, not to look for a wife, not to look for money, not to look for anything else, but to be spiritually rooted in you right now, God. We thank you right now in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all tune in for us next week, because we're going to have a good couple of guests coming on the next couple of weeks, man. So, hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button right now.
Hey, y'all have a great week.
Y'all have a great week. Man, I'm muted.